He makes a fuss about it.
Hello.
Hello, Walter.
How are you, Mario?
Where are we? 95, right?
Yeah. No, going to 96 now. Did we do 95 yesterday?
No,
No, okay. I already did 96 today. I don't know why.
you're too fast.
Okay. I spoke to Alan today.
When
Huh?
you saw her?
I spoke to him. He called me. I spoke to him.
Oh.
I mean, I called him, then he called me back.
Hmm.
Sounds good. Sounds okay. Okay, then we'll wait for Ernie.
I don't know. He called me. He wanted to do it at 6:30. This blood is long. Oh. Hello.
Good
Hello.
evening. Good evening.
Hi, Ernie.
Simulacros.
What daf are we on?
95.
No,
Tzaddik Him.
Tzaddik zero.
Hakshiva Laisha Mahaloi Tistafi Ala Istafi Nebuchadnezzar Russia. You're not going to be afraid of Sancheriv, but you'll be afraid of Nebuchadnezzar. The Matil Ka'ari is compared to a lion. Shenemar Allah Ayai Misufcho. My Aniya Anatot. What do we mean by Aniya Anatot? Atid Yirmiyahu ben Chilkim Mitnabe Alam Anatot. Yirmiyahu is going to eventually come and give prophecy about Nebuchadnezzar that he's going to come and destroy the base of Mikdash. L'siv Divrei Yirmiyahu ben Chilkiyahu Min HaKohanim Asher Banatot. So the Gemara says, "Mi dami." Hasam Ari Hachalayish. What do you mean? Here the pasuk referring to Nebuchadnezzar is a layish, and there it's an Ari. So what is it? Rav Yochanan. That's not a problem. Shisha Shemos Yesh Lari. A line has 6 names. Elohim, Ari, Kfir, Lavi, Layish, Shachal, Shachatz. So the Gemara says, "Ihachi Batzar Lahu," because we calculated there were 10 Masaos of Sancheriv before he got to Yerushalayim. But now we're missing one. Avru Ma'arba Tartinina. But Avru and Ma'arba are each one of their own, so that's 2, so that's why you have 10. Now, the pasuk in Yeshaya that talks about the day that Sancheriv came was Od Hayom Benov Lamod. Amar Ravuna also Yom Nishtar Mavona Shel Nov. This has to do with the fact that Shaul HaMelech, because David HaMelech was hiding there, Shaul killed out all the Kohanei Nov. And Rashi says, Shahaya Lehem Yisrael. There was an Avon, it's not just for David HaMelech, it's for all of Yisrael. Maybe they didn't defend them. And this day was preserved until for the future so that the Kodesh Baruch Hu can take revenge against Klal Yisrael because of the sin in Nov. Amrile Kaldoi. The Babylonians said to Sancheriv, or these were like the seers, the magicians, the astrologers of the Babylonians. They told Sancheriv, we see in the stars, if you fight today, you'll be able to conquer them. You won't be able to. So Urcha de Bola Sagui Basar Yoma Saga B'chad Yoma. A journey that would have normally taken 10 days, it was Kvitza Saderach. He did it in one day. So he could get there. They piled up a whole lot of mattresses until he could stand on the top of it and look above the walls of Jerusalem to see all of the city. It seemed very small to him. Omar, is this the city of Yerushalayim? The Allah Girshis Kol Mishri say, I told my officers we want to come here. I conquered all the other nations. Although he's the era, it's small. The much smaller than all the nations I've already conquered. So all of a combination, he made a derisive movement with his head, with his hand. He said like this, nothing. We'll be able to destroy this. The general said, we should start fighting now. Armino, listen to me, Usu. You're tired. Tomorrow we'll fight, and every stone of the wall you'll take in your pocket. We'll be able to conquer them. What happened that night? 185,000 generals were killed by the Malach. It means if you sleep the night over, you're supposed to have a court, and you get to push it off to the next day, it can be nullified. So here it was supposed to, if Ora Yom Benov Lamod, if he would have conquered that day, he would have been successful. Because he delayed one day, he lost. V'yishbi Benov Asher Bilidei Harafo Mishkal Keno, the brother of Goliath, the daughter of Orpah, was a man named Yishbi Benov, and he was also a giant. Mishkal Kino Shloshmas Mishkal Nechoshes. He would wear like armor of 300 copper. His job was to kill David HaMelech, because as revenge for David killing his brother Goliath. Why is he called Ma'vi Yishbi Benov? Amrid Amarav, Ish Shabalis Kenov. He's coming to punish David because of what happened in Nov. Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu spoke to David. Ad Mosayeh Oven Zeh Tomen Biyadcha. How long are you going to have this sin that you went to hide out in Nov and all these Kohanim got killed because of you, and that you're not going to be punished for this? Al Yadcha Nerga Nov Yar Kohanim. It was because of you that they killed. Al Yadcha Nitrad Doi Gadomi. Doi Gadomi gets pushed away from Olam Haba because of this event, because he advised Shaul to kill them. Shaul and his 3 sons were also killed because of this. All of this led to these killings, and all because of David. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave David a choice. Ritzoncha yichlu zaracha. You will have no children. They'll all be wiped out. O timsur biyadoyev. You yourself can fall in the hands of an enemy. David chose that he would fall into the hands of his enemy and that his generations will continue. Yom echad nofik liskor bazoy. He went hunting. Also, Satan v'amile ketavia. The Satan came and he made himself look like a deer. Pasuk begir v'lomatyo. David Melech shot an arrow, but it didn't hit him. But the deer kept on running. David kept on chasing it until he got to the land of Plishtim. That's where Yishbinov lived. And Yishbinov saw David, Omar, this is the guy who killed my brother Goliath. They tied him up. They put him under a olive press so he would be pressed and squeezed to death. A nace occurred and ground opened up underneath him that he had space. That's why it says in Tehillim, Tarchiv tzadi tachtai v'lomadu karsulai. Hahu yom ha'pani d'mali shabta. This was Erev Shabbos. Avishai ben Surya have kachayef reisha ba'ar b'gar b'damya. Avishai was the nephew of David HaMelech. Surya was, I believe, the sister of David HaMelech. He was scrubbing his hair with shampoo l'koved Shabbos. Chazinu ketami dama. He saw some blood. Some say a dove came and was moving its wings, and therefore he got a hint. Omar K'tat Yisrael yoina amisla. Klal Yisrael is compared to a dove. Shenemar kanfe yona nechba bekesef. And maybe David Malkat Yisrael, but it must be. It's a hint that David Melech Yisrael is in trouble. Also, basically, Avishai went to look for David Melech in his house, couldn't find him. So Omar Tanan ein roichvin al suso. You're not allowed to ride the king's horse. V'en yoshvin al kiso, can't sit on his throne. V'mishtam shim b'sharvito, he can't use his scepter. What about b'shas sakonamai? If it's pikuach nefesh. So also Shobem, he went to the yeshiva and he asked, you're allowed to do these things. Rachvil Afrede, so he rode David's horse, become va'azol, and kafzele ari. He had krisis aderech. In a nace, he got there very quickly. He sees Orpah, who was Ruth's sister-in-law. Machlon and Kilyon were married to Ruth and Orpah. Orpah is the mother of Goliath and Yishbi Denov. And he saw Orpah weaving on a loom. When Orpah saw Avishai, she took one of the needles that are used in the loom and threw it at Avishai to kill him. But it didn't work. Amrele, Alamaisali Plach. So she asked Avishai to bring her back this thing. He threw it back to her, and it went into her brain and killed her. When Yishbi Benov, the Goliath's brother, saw Avishai, now he understood that he has David and Avishai against it. They're going to kill me. So he threw David Melech into the sky. And Yishbi Benov stuck his spear in the ground. that David would come back down to the ground and he'd land on the spear and get killed. Amr Avishai Shem, Avishai uttered one of the names of Hashem, Ukmal David ben Shmuel Ara, and suspended David in mid-flight, that he wouldn't fall. The name of Le'i, why didn't David save himself with shame of Hashem? So, because Ein Chavush Motzi Atzma Beis Asurim. Somebody's in prison, can't get himself out, he needs somebody else to help. So Avishai said, Omar, my boy Sacha, what are you doing? How come you fell into the hands of our enemy, Yishbidano? Omar, Hachi Omar li Kutchabrichu. He told him the whole dialogue, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave him the choice of falling into the hands of his enemy or that his children get wiped out. It must be that now is the time that my fate is sealed, I'm going to fall into my enemy's hand. Omar, so Avishai said to him, Apech tzlusech, you have to daven, and just that you should not be killed, and even though it might risk your future generations. As we say, bar beirach kira lisbin va'adlot itztar. Means you don't have to worry about your great-grandson. He'll be a poor peddler, and he'll sell wax. But you should not spend your money in order to leave Yerusha for your children. Very interesting comment here. That people should spend their money, not necessarily worry about leaving all sorts of fortunes to their grandchildren for Yerusha. Omer ihachi seya bahadon. So David HaMelech said, fine, you help me, and we'll kill Yishbi Danov. That's why it says, Vayazor lo Avishai ben Sruya, Vayachas aplishti vaymisei. We learned it in Shmuel Beis. Omer yad Rav. Azra b'tfila. Avishai helped him with daven. Omer Avishai Shem. Va'achte, and it lowered David from being suspended in the air. Havakarav b'tervayu. Yishbi was running after them to kill them. Kimata Kubi, they came to a place called Kubi, Amri, Kumbe. Let's stand here and we'll defend this area. Kimata Betray, when they came to a place called Betray, Amri, Betray Gurian Katula Arye. Sort of two cubs can kill one lion. We'll be able to defeat him. Amri lay. They said, go join your mother Orpah in the grave. When he heard that his mother had died, he became weak and they were able to kill him. You mentioned that when Avishai traveled to Eretz Plishtim, there was Kvitza Saderach. He went there very quickly. Who are the three? Eliezer Eved Avram, when he went to get a shidduch for Yitzchak, had Kvitza Saderach. Yaakov Avinu, we'll see in the story soon. Avishai ben Sri. Avishai ben Sri had Amora. We just learned it. Eliezer Eved Avram Tichsi Vavo Hayom Elahoyim. He came today to the spring. He came today, left Ur Kasdim or Charon, wherever they were, and he arrived in one day at Kvitza Sader. Yaakov Avinu T'chsiv, Vayitze Yaakov mi Beershava, Vayelech Charon. Uksiv Vayivga b'makom, Vayelon Shem Kivar Shemesh. Kimata l'Charon Omer, when he got to Charon, Efshar Avarti al Makom Shizpalu Bo Avaisim, and he lost Palalti Bo. Did I pass by Yerushalayim, the base of Mikdash? I didn't daven there. So he turned around to go back. Once he had made his mind to go back, Ara. He had he immediately reached that place. After he davened, he wanted to go back on his journey. What? he comes to my inn, because the Beis Hamikdash Hara Moriah is like the hotel of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I'm not going to let him sleep there. Miyad bo Hashemesh, that the sun sunk. Later on it rose. They got the time back. Right? The sun that sank before its time, Zarcha Bavur, rose before its time, and that corrected the astronomical calculations which had been put off. Well, if Hashem gave David HaMelech two choices, either fall to your enemy or your children will be wiped out, and David eventually davened that he should survive, where do we see that his generations were cut off? It says, Vatalia Ema Chaziyahu Rasa Kimes Pna, Vatakam Matovadas Kol Zera Mamlacha. Once she saw that her son was dead, there was no Zera Malucha yet. What Vahai Ishtayr le Yoash, but there was Yoash that remained. Hasumnami Ishtayr. Because Benov, Irakwanim, there was one Kohen that was left alive. Ev Yosser. Because it says, Vayimalei ben echad lachimela ben achitu v'shmo Ev Yosser. And the Kohanim came from Ev Yosser. Amr Yidam Arav. If Yosser did not survive Nov, David HaMelech would not have had any progeny. He came with 45,000 ish b'nei melachim princes. Yoshvim b'kornishes of sitting in golden chariots. V'imoim shigloines v'zoines, they were prostitutes. U'ishmonim elaf giborim, 80,000 heroes. Levushay sirin klipa, wearing armor. Uveshishim elaf achuzei cherev ratzim elfanam, 60,000 sword bearers. V'ashar porshim, the rest infantry. V'chein ba'ol Avram, the same amount battled Avram. V'chein asin lavo im Gog u'Magog. The same will be in the future. The length of his camp was 400 parsi. The width of the necks of his horses were 40 parsa. Sach machaneo masayim v'shishim ribu alofim. This is 260 million. No, million. Rebo is 10,000, and alofim is 10,000 times 1,000, it's 10 million, times 200, like 2 billion. Chasr chad, boy abaya. Chasr chad rebo, is it less than 1/10,000, or chasr chad alpha, one less than 1,000, or chasr mei, or chasr chad teku? So there were a lot of people. Tana rishonim avru b'shechi. The people in the front in his army, they swam across the Jordan. The middle group walked. They were in there up to their neck. There were so many people, they dried up all the water. There was no water to drink. They had to bring water from somewhere else. Now, how could you have so many people? It says that he only killed 185,000. These 185,000 were the generals. Each one had hundreds of thousands underneath them. That's where we have all these billions. B'mishmanav razon, bashmeinim de ispuhu. These were the chashuvim that got killed. Amrachmana, dekenami, tichsiv vayishlach Hashem malach vayached kol gibor chayil v'nagid v'sar b'machaneh. It was the sarim that was killed, not just the regular people. Then vayavo beis Elohav, Umitzieh me'av sham mipilu b'cherev. Divrei Yom says that they killed the mufchar, the best of them. Shma mina. B'mei hikam. How did the malach strike them? Rabbi Lezer b'yad he came with an arm. Shneimar v'yah Yisrael sayad agdoila. Hayad shatid lipor misancherev. This yad in the future was going to be used to punish sancherev. You see the connection between Sancherev and Pesach, because I told you the night of Pesach was the night that the Sancherev army was destroyed. He adds Bashasidi Liporm and Sancherev. Rabbi Yezer B'nosh Rabbi Yosef leading Omer LaKadosh Baruch Hu Gavriel. Gavriel was the malach in charge here. Magalcha Natusha, is your scythe sharpened? Omer LaFoder Shalom Natusha Vomedes B'Sheish Me'Brachis. It's ready to go from the 6th day of Brachis. Shnemar, B'nei Charvas Nodadu. Reb Shimon Yechomer Oisa Perek Zman Bishul Perusaya. It was the time of ripening of fruits. Amar LaKadosh Baruch Hu LeGavriel. Kishatayot Silvashel Perus. When you go to ripen the fruits, Yizakik Lehem. Take care of them as well. Shnemar, Midei Ovru Yikach Etchem Ki Babok Yavor Bayom V'Laylo. Vayak Raz Zavah Havin Shmua. Amar Papainu Damri Inshi. Agav Orcha Labal Devavcha Yishtama. On your way, you can sometimes take care of multiple things. Or listen. He blew in their nose. It says, he clapped his hands. Rav Yitzchak Nav Chomar, Oznayim Gololem Shamu Shira Pi Chayos. He opened up the ears so they could hear the shira of the Chayos of the Merkava Umesu. Shneimar Miromam Chad Nafzu Goyim. Kama Nishtayr Mehem. How many was left of the army? Rav Amar Asara. Shneimar Ushar Eitz Yaro Mispar Yu V'Niyar Yichteve. Kama Nar Yachol Lichtov Asara. Ushmol Amar Tisha. Shneimar Benisha Bo Olelus Knokev Zayis. Shnayim Shloisha Gargorim Barosh Amir Arba V'Chamisha B'Zivev 9. Rav Shimon Levi Omer Arba Asar 14. Shneimar, you have to add the Shnayim Ushlosha, the 5 to the 9. Rabbi Yochanan Amar Chamisha Sancherev V'Shnei Bonav. There were 5 left. Sancherev, his 2 sons. Nebuchadnezzar and Uvuzradin were the generals of Sancherev. Uvuzradin Gemara, that's a Masorah. Nebuchadnezzar the Chsiv. It says in Daniah, when Chananim, Mishael, Azariah were thrown in the furnace, a malach went in there with him. And Nebuchadnezzar, when he saw that, he said, the 4th thing looks like a malach. Now, if Nebuchadnezzar was not there the night when the malach destroyed the camp of Sancherev, how did Nebuchadnezzar know what a malach looked like? Because in Malachim it mentions that Sancherev's 2 sons were also killed. Okay, we'll stop here. Okay, tomorrow we'll at 7 o'clock.
At what time?
7.
Okay.
Okay, by the way, on Tuesday night, there's this dinner for Errol. I don't know if you know about it.
Yeah, by Rabbi Dunner.
Yeah, but at Cannon Hall, so we won't be there, so I'm going to go to the dinner.
But it's for North Beverly Hills, right?
No, it's for everybody, the whole community. Are you kidding? No. No, it's for the community, honoring Errol and Pat. No.
Which organization is honoring him?
No, just everybody, the whole community. Beth Jacob, us, them, everybody.
We need to go to that.
Okay, so I can send.
How do you make reservations?
I'll send you the invite. Okay.
Please.
Okay. Bye.